Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Here to inspire, enlighten, and build up humanity, especially you men, because you men, especially the young men, need to be built up. We are lacking in masculinity here in the U.S. No, it's not toxic, it's okay. And we will speak about those things right after this. You have to be strong enough to endure these things. You have to approach women. With today's social media, she's constantly being hit on. Women are always in the game. You have to stay focused. We are men. That's what we do. All right, let's get after it today. Toxic masculinity. Actually, what brought this on was I saw the deal where Jake Paul is being accused of misconduct, I'll say. I'm not quite sure what he's being accused of. I haven't researched it yet, but one of the creators I follow posted some testimony or the statement of the girl that said he mistreated her. And I was thinking how easy it is for someone to say something about somebody these days, especially to say it about a man in a position of, let's say, notoriety. And that's something you guys need to be aware of when you're going out with girls here in the U.S., because it is very common, especially if you're an attractive man or you're a popular man, or a lot of the girls like you, because they will say things about you like that, and usually it's months, sometimes even years after you were with them, or maybe you weren't even with them. I've had girls say they were with me when I wasn't even with them. Fortunately, not in a way that was could cause me any problems, but I have had false accusations against me several times through the years by women who were jealous or wanted to be with me, or got angry at me, because in today's society, all they have to do is go up there and say you did something. And then you got to prove you didn't do it. Very difficult to do. How do you prove you didn't do something? I mean, especially if you and her were alone together and you were boyfriend and girlfriend, or you were lovers, or whatever, or one night stands, or whatever it happens to be. Because then it comes down to it's her word against yours, whether she consented to doing whatever it was you two did. Now, the only way I know around this is, and this sounds strange, but I would have my recorder on my phone, at least until you trusted this girl. Because my son got in a situation here several years back where this girl wanted to be with him, okay? So she called him up, and he didn't have a driver's license, and he couldn't drive down there to see her. He was 18 at the time, I think, or 19. And this girl was 15 or 16, 15 or 16, something like that. Or he may have been 17. Anyway, so she wanted to see him. He said, hey, I can't come down there. He said, the only way I have to go there is for my buddy to drive me. And she said, okay. And he says, well, he's going to probably want to be with you too. And she said, okay, I don't care. Just come on down. I'll be with both of you guys. So anyway, they went down there, and I guess they had a menage a trois there. They were both with her. They all partied and were together and had a good time, I suppose. And then about a month later or 3 weeks later or whatever, the police are calling him, and he's accused of rape. Yeah, what happened was she had a boyfriend, and he found out about it, so she claimed that they came down there and raped her. So the police contacted my son and me. Yeah, he was underage at the time, so they had to contact me too. He was 17 maybe, or 16. She was 14. Maybe that was the deal. Okay. So they asked if he had his phone. And he said, yeah. So he gave it to him. And they told us that hers came up mysteriously missing in action. She didn't have her phone. Apparently she lost it because there were conversations leading up to this interaction, text conversation. So they took my son's phone, and 2 or 3 weeks later they gave it back to him, and that was the end of it. He said that cleared it up. Well, the deal was she was texting my son, more or less begging him to come down there, and said, yes, I want to be with both of you. Let's party together. I just want to see you. So yeah, bring your friend and we'll all be together. So anyway, that saved his ass. He could have gotten a lot of trouble for that. And all it was she got in trouble with her boyfriend, who found out that she was with these 2 guys. So, and her dad found out about it. So she had to make it look like that she didn't do anything. And what else resulted from that was her father was, he had been in quite a bit of trouble on drugs. He'd been in prison. He came here one night and wanted to beat the crap out of my son. I had a broken shoulder at the time, so I couldn't do anything. I watched him from the house, and I seen him. So what he did was he had my son call the other guy that was with him, and the other guy came here, and then they got into a fight, and the girl's father knocked my son's friend, the guy that was with the girl, knocked his teeth out. I didn't see any of this. I was here at the house. I don't know how it managed to happen, but I guess somehow God kept me out of it because I couldn't have done anything with a broken shoulder. I did call the cops, and they came and arrested him. But anyway, this is the trouble a girl can cause just by saying something, even though it's not true. And many times girls do this because they don't want to be called a 304. So when people start finding out what they did, they have to somehow cover their ass. So they make up some story, and they'll cry and say they were abused. And I'm not saying that some girls don't get taken advantage of and abused, because I know it happens. But many times the girl is just trying to save her reputation. So the best advice I can give you is when you're out with a girl, I just run my recorder. When it comes time to do something with her sexually. I mean, it's an extreme measure, but I'm telling you what, some of the things that happen nowadays, because women have so much power with what they say when it comes to, if they say something against you as a man in regards to sexual misconduct, that it may be wise the first few times you're with her until you get to understand what kind of a person she is. And also you may ask about some of her past relationships. And if you feel safe with her and you think she's going to be okay and not this type of girl, then you don't have to record every conversation. But what I mean is to turn your recorder on before you start having any kind of sexual interactions with her. Yeah, I know it sounds extreme, but if you think there's any chance that maybe that could happen, it might be a wise move. Because as I said, it saved my son's ass. So anyway, the deal is stay away from women like that. I was with women like that years ago. Crazy women that always seem to be the best in bed, but definitely can cause you some problems. I was fortunate enough to be able to get out of all the things that happened to me, the accusations against me. But here's the deal too. The reason they continue to do this is because even when you prove that they're lying, and some of them even admit that they were lying, there's no repercussions. They walk away, no problem. But they could have put you in jail for many years or ruined your reputation. So I know women have a lot of power in the United States nowadays, and the problem with women having such power is they're emotional beings, and they get angry, they get hurt, they don't want to be shamed, and they will use that to clear their name regardless of whether you go to jail or not. So keep that in mind. That's all I have time for today. Hope this has been of value to you. Share it with a friend if you think he's walking on the thin wire. And if you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com is my website. And if you'd like to donate, you can hit the PayPal or the Cash App button. I appreciate that. Wade Emery, thank you for the donation you gave me the other day. It means a lot to me. Take care.